So we saw all relationship types we have. Therefore, it's time for the last core concept of relationships, active properties. I'm back in the course project, so not in the project from the last lecture. And if we again go to manage relationships and now select our second relationship maybe, so the one between the population table and the region table, and go to edit, you can find this make this relationship active option down here. And that's exactly what active properties is all about. It just defines if this relationship is active or not. In our case, if we unselect this and press OK and close this pop-up here, you now see this dotted line between the dim region table and the fact population table. This means that we have a relationship between these two tables, but it's not active, it's not working at the moment, you could say. If we go back to report view once again, you can also see the impact of this. The visual can't be displayed because there is no connection between our tables. If we go back to relationship view, we can quickly undo that by going back to manage relationships and now either going to the edit menu or setting it to active right here, closing the menu, and with that the relationship is working again. If you go back to the report view, you can see the visual is also working again. What's the rationale behind this option now? Well, it simply helps if you want to maybe temporarily unselect specific relationships without even deleting them, because deleting relationships would also be possible if you right-click on the relationship and press delete right here, or if you go to manage relationships, select the relationship as we said before, and then press delete right there. By the way, another side note here, if you would create a second relationship between two tables, so for example between the country ID column and the age ID column, although this doesn't make a lot of sense, like this, you can see that the relationship we just created is set to inactive by default because we already have a relationship in this table right here. If we would delete this one now, the other one would become active, but as we know, this doesn't make a lot of sense. So let's right click onto the second relationship, press delete, and delete it from our data model. With that, we have the initial correct relationship back. And to conclude this relationship part of this module, if we again click onto the three dots right here, you see we have plenty of options. For example, manage aggregations here, or if we unselect that, we also have this properties column here. This and more features will be explored in the advanced module of this course, because at this stage, we have to understand the basics first to be able to use relationships, to understand these, and to apply these concepts in our data model. But later in the course, we'll dive deeper here. However, for the moment, I want to conclude this relationships part and dive into another very important concept in the data model, and this is DAX, the Data Analysis Expression Language. What it is, how it works, and what the difference is between this M language in the query editor and this DAX language we are using now, well, these are all important topics we should have a look at in the next lectures.